Hello everyone! Today we're going to take a look at adding a couple details on our weaving, and we're going to look at finishing it off. As you can see, I've been working on mine and I've reached almost all the way down to the bottom. I wanted to show you really quick how you can add tassels. You don't need to add them, but if you would like something, it's a nice texture and it gives you some good decoration. So you want to, I'm going to wrap some yarn around my hand so that I can cut off some short pieces. So I'll cut here. Okay, so now I have some short pieces here, and what I'm going to do is decide where I want to insert my fringe. Like if I wanted to put some along this line here, I'll take 2 or 3 of these since these are kind of skinny. We'll try 3. Lay them together folded in half like this. And then I'm going to try to, and this is the tricky part, put this loop through my needle. So you might need some help with this, but I just always try to squish it as flat as I can, rub it up against that knot, and gently pull through. Okay, and then I pick what spot I want them to go in. So just kind of pick one of your over loops. I'm going to kind of lift and wiggle it a little bit with my needle. I'm going to pull the needle through carefully. I want to pull half of the yarn through. There we go. Okay. So you can see all the ends are up and all the loops are down. I can slide my needle off. There we go. And then open up those loops together so they match. Like this. And then I'm going to push all of those tails through this loop. So I can maybe try to get my pincher fingers in through there if I can. And put them all in. There we go. And then just gently pull to tighten. Okay? And you could do a whole row of them. You can do as many as you want. Nice thing is you can give them a haircut if they're too long. There we go. Okay. So when you get done, I think I'm about as far as I can go right now. It gets really, really tight at the bottom. So we need to talk about all these ends. If you just leave the ends loose like this, you are taking a chance that your weaving will fall apart later. So there are 2 options. If you want to secure it so that your weaving stays together, one option is you can take 2 ends and tie them together in a knot, just like you tie your shoes. So if you cross them, push one through and pull tight and repeat it so it's a double knot. Okay, I could go through and do that. If there's longer pieces, you also could weave them back in. So what that means is taking your needle again, putting the yarn on, and going and doing a couple over-unders, and then pulling through like that. And so that way that end is completely woven back in, and then you can cut that off. So decide what you're going to do about all of your tails. Take care of those first. I finished tying in all my ends, and I wanted to show you a different needle that I have. This is going to work a little bit better for tassels. It has a lot larger eye, and so it's easier to get that loop through with the multiple strands. Okay, so the loop is here. All the ends are here. I pick my over loop that I want to go through. So I'm going to poke, gently pull down, and remember you're not pulling all the way through. I just want to get those loops through. Then I can slide off the needle. Oops, almost worked out. This one popped out. Get back in there. Okay, and then line up the loops. And then pull the tails through. Okay, that should work a little bit better. All right, After you've done that, you're ready to take it off the board. Yay! So to do that, flip it over. Gently untape. Okay, we don't need the tape anymore. And then we're going to use our metal needle as a tool to help us take these loops off. And so what you want to do is slide the needle under. And you can kind of bend the board a little bit if you need to and push that loop off. Okay, so I'm not breaking it, I'm not cutting it, it's still a loop. All right, and you can see how that's going to slowly start to take that off. So you'll want to go through and take all of the loops off carefully. Okay, and you can work with a friend on this. And take all the loops from the top and all the loops from the bottom off. When you take it off the board, it will look something like this. And you notice because I didn't weave all the way down to the bottom, my loops on the bottom are a little bit longer. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Looking back up at the top, this string is very important. We need to do something with this string right away. If you don't do anything with it, it potentially could unravel the entire thing. So one thing is you could weave it back in using your needle and just weave it through. Or you could tie it to the loop next to it. It's up to you. I think weaving things back in is a little cleaner. So I'm going to weave this in really quick. Just doing over under a few times. And pulling through. And don't pull too tight, otherwise it'll start to pull that down. Okay. All right, you typically want to do this on the back side, and I just realized that this side has the tassels. This is the front, so you want to flip yours over when you do that. Now, for the top, sometimes I've used wooden dowels. This year I happen to have a bunch of these plastic straws. And what you do is you just thread your straw, like loop by loop, onto your plastic straw. And this is going to be on the top and the bottom. So go through and do this really quick. Once the straw is in, you can trim it a little shorter if you want to. And you'll notice on the bottom when it's still really loose, you have two options here. You could weave more yarn in now, and that way that's more secure. Or the other option is to slide the straw up as close to the weaving as you can, pull the loop straight down, cut it, and double knot it. Either option works really good. When you finish your weaving, flip it over, put a piece of masking tape on it, put your name and your code, and you need to upload it and take a picture with the iPad. Congrats, guys.